Blood on the Frontier, Episode 1. The Stranger. In the fading days of the Old West, there stood a quiet frontier town hidden between endless prairie grass and towering mountains. To strangers, it looked like any other place where honest people worked, prayed, and dreamed of a better tomorrow. But beneath the beauty of every sunrise, an ancient darkness was beginning to awaken. As dawn broke across the valley, fear spread from one home to the next. A little girl had vanished during the night without leaving a trace. Only tiny footprints and strange tracks leading deep into the forest remained behind. It wasn't only children who were disappearing. Ranchers awoke to find their livestock lying motionless beneath the morning sun. No wolves, no bears, only mysterious wounds no one could explain. The whispers began. Something evil had come to the frontier. Sheriff Thomas Callahan had faced outlaws, cattle thieves, and gunfighters, but this enemy was unlike anything he'd ever known. Desperate to save his town, he sent a letter to the only person rumored to hunt creatures born from nightmares. Days later, a lone rider appeared through the desert dust. Her name was Abigail Hart, a fearless hunter whose reputation traveled farther than the western winds. Wherever darkness walked, she wasn't far behind. The townspeople watched in silence as Abigail rode through the streets. Some saw hope, others saw danger. Children peeked from hiding places while old-timers whispered stories they hoped were only legends. Inside the sheriff's office, Abigail studied every map, every report, and every strange disappearance. The clues made little sense, but one thing was certain. Whatever hunted this town, it hunted only after the sun disappeared. Sometimes destiny arrives without warning. A simple accident, a few scattered supplies, and two strangers found themselves face to face. Abigail met Elijah Blackwood, never realizing this quiet cowboy would change everything she believed. Elijah greeted her with kindness, respect, and a warm smile that seemed impossible to distrust. Yet, behind those gentle eyes rested a secret older than the frontier itself. As the evening settled beneath a blanket of stars, conversation came easily between them. They laughed, shared stories, and spoke as though they had known one another for years. For the first time in a long while, Abigail allowed herself to lower her guard. But every night Elijah disappeared without explanation. Alone, beneath the moonlight, he walked beyond the edge of town toward places no one dared visit. Whatever burden he carried it alone. From the boarding house window, Abigail watched him vanish into the darkness. Her instincts told her something wasn't right. Questions began replacing trust, and suspicion quietly took root. Far beneath the earth, hidden inside an abandoned silver mine, another force was gathering. Silas Kane, the ruthless leader of an ancient vampire clan, had finally found the town he had been searching for. With one command, silence turned into war. The vampire outlaws prepared to ride before sunrise, determined to bring terror to every home, and to reclaim someone who had betrayed their kind. High above the valley, Elijah watched over the sleeping town from the cliffs. He wasn't watching it as a hunter, but as its silent guardian. He knew the danger was coming long before anyone else did. Late into the night, Abigail opened the journal her father had left behind. Its pages spoke of creatures that walked between darkness and light, warning that not every monster wore the face people expected, and not every hero carried a shining badge. Midnight arrived, horses panicked, stable doors burst open. A dark figure slipped silently through the ranch as fog swallowed the fields. The nightmare everyone feared had finally begun. Following strange footprints into the forest, Abigail tracked the unseen predator through the moonlit trees. Every broken branch, every shadow, brought her closer to the truth. Lost among the towering pines, young Lily May stood frozen with fear. Before she could cry for help, Elijah appeared from the darkness. Without revealing the secret he carried, he lifted the frightened child into his arms and hurried through the forest, shielding her as moonlight streamed through the trees. To Lily, he was simply a brave stranger who had come when she needed someone most. As Abigail followed the trail to an abandoned cemetery, she found Elijah standing alone beneath the full moon. He never turned around. But something was different. His eyes slowly glowed crimson against the night. In that single moment, everything Abigail believed about monsters, and about the man she had begun to trust, was about to change forever. Some legends are born from fear, others from truth, but sometimes the greatest battle isn't between good and evil, it's between what we believe and what we choose to see. Fade to black. To be continued.